A detention center in Texas, which has been at the center of much controversy in the past, is now reopening under a new agreement with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The South Texas Family Residential Center in Texas will once again start housing immigrant families. This move has attracted a lot of attention because of its history of criticism, particularly during the Trump administration. But with the US government's ongoing immigration challenges, this decision is being made to create more space for detained families. Let me tell you, why does this matter so much? The South Texas Family Residential Center, built in 2014, was initially designed to house immigrant families after many people, specifically from Central America, starting arriving in the US, seeking safety from violence. Over the years, this particular center has faced criticism, specifically when family separation policy were in place during Trump's first term. The center became really famous for holding children and parents together in detention, while children were also being separated from their families, which sparked outrage among human rights groups. When Joe Biden took the office, he promised to move away from holding families in detention centers. Instead, he preferred alternatives like ankle bracelets to track families, allowing them to stay in the community while they await their immigration hearing. In fact, during his campaign, Biden said that he wanted to release immigrant families from detention entirely. But now, the reopening of this facility marks a shift back to the practice of holding families in detention, which was a part of President Donald Trump's plan to deport a large number of immigrants. Let's look at a bigger picture. Why is this reopening happening now? Well, the US government, under both Trump and Biden, had faced ongoing challenges with immigration. There has been a surge in migrants coming from Central America, as well as people coming to the US to escape violence or search for better opportunity. The government needs to detain these individuals as they go through the process of being processed or deported. But there simply isn't enough space in existing facility. ICE needs more space to hold migrants while they wait for their immigration hearing or deportation. The South Texas Family Residential Center, which was previously not used for families after 2024, will now be able to house up to 2,400 people. Now, this is a large number, and this facility could soon be filled with migrant families who are seeking asylum or facing deportation. CoreCivic, a private prison company, will also again manage this particular facility. The company has been responsible for running the center since its construction back in 2014. They will now take over operations once again, providing beds and housing for migrants in detention. CoreCivic announced that it would be offering workers at other centers the same option to transfer to this particular center to help with increased workload. The company has made it very clear that they are prepared for an increase in the number of people needing detention space. According to the CEO, they had plenty of available beds and are ready to assist the government in managing the rising demand for detention center. CoreCivic also signaled agreements with ICE to expand capacity at other detention facilities in Mississippi, Nevada, Ohio, and Oklahoma, where they can now accommodate up to 784 additional detainees. You know, one of the biggest challenges in dealing with immigration in the US is the backlog in the court. There are about 3.7 million immigration cases waiting to be heard. This means that people who are detained may have to wait for months or even years for their case to be processed. This creates a situation where the US government needs more detention space to hold immigrants who are waiting for their hearing. On the top of that, deportation isn't always really quick. Undocumented immigrants who face criminal charges cannot be deported right away. They must first go through the criminal justice system, serve their sentences, and only then they can face deportations. Now, this delays the process even further. With the increasing number of immigrants and the massive backlog in the court, experts say that the US might need to build temporarily or soft detention center to accommodate more people. These are facilities that are less permanent and can be set up quickly to deal with sudden surge in the number of those who are detained. However, building more detention centers is really expensive and it can take a lot of time. Currently, the system can hold about 42,000 detainees. But with the rising number of people crossing the border and seeking asylum, the US government may need to find more spaces. And this is why facilities like South Texas Family Residential Center are being reopened to handle the increased demand for detention space. The reopening of this center is part of a larger strategy to address the growing immigration system. It also reflects the larger debate over how the US is handling immigration. Some believe that holding families in detention is necessary for national security, while others argue that it harms children, families, and that alternatives should be used instead. As the immigration issue continues to be a key topic in the US politics, we can expect more debates about the role of private companies like CoreCivic and the effectiveness of detention center. It remains to be seen whether this will be a long-term solution or if new policies will emerge that will change the approach to handling immigrants seeking refuge in the US.